everyone, good morning. Yesterday we discussed about servers, right? So what is server? Types of servers, right? So server architecture. Anyone newly joined today? Anyone newly joined today? Can you provide your WhatsApp number and email address in the chat? The GoToMeeting chat. Can you provide your WhatsApp number and email address? So that will provide you all the previous recordings and course content, right? So can you ping your WhatsApp number and email address in the chat? If anyone joined newly today, fine. So these are the this is the agenda. So we discussed up to here, right? Up to operating system. Fine. Types of operating systems. Yeah. So servers. What is server? Anyone? We discussed already. What is server? Server is a computer that serves information to other computers called clients, right? So clients are nothing but desktop or laptop, right? Yeah. So types of servers we discussed: blade servers, rack servers, and tower servers. Blade server is a modular server, small thin server, right? So we can hold a number of blade servers in one container, and blade servers are having only CPU and memory, integrated network controllers, right? Yeah. Storage we connect external storage, fine. And a rack server is a traditional server. Most of the data centers we are using rack servers. In most of the data centers we are using rack servers. Those are general purpose servers, right? And tower servers are bit older servers. So in single tower, only one server you can find, one CPU, one monitor, keyboard, mouse you can connect in the tower server. So bit older server, fine. Yeah. So client server model. So normally, so when we send request to the server will give response from laptop or desktop or any mobile or tab. Also we can connect our servers using proper authentication, right? So without authentication we cannot connect our servers, right? Yeah. So and we discussed about server architecture. Yeah, first phase of implementation, second phase of implementation, third phase of implementation, fourth phase of implementation, right? So in first phase of implementation, yeah, so 90s and early 2000, how the server teams, like how the project teams used to use the server architecture, right? Yeah, so by the time in 90s and early 2000, we used to use very yeah highest capacity of the hard drive, which is a 1 GB hard drive. So by the time, so one application, one server, we used to configure, right? So for example, four applications are there like Java, Git, Maven, Ansible, right? So four applications, we used to use four servers, right? Yeah. So why they used to use like that? So because by the time technology wise, yeah, so people are opting technologies, and by the time resource crunch, so different reasons, right? So that is why they used to use like each application one server. So by the time hardware costing, it was very higher costing, right? So that is why first phase of implementation, which is initial phase of implementation, that was failed concept, right? So hardware costing, by the time hardware costing higher and less utilization. That is why first phase of implementation that was failed. In second phase of implementation, so the project teams used to take highest capacity of the server, and they used to deploy all the packages in same server, right? So yeah, in that also some drawbacks are there. So in case the server is crash, right? And also security concerns, security violences. So one user can access other applications. So for example, Java developer access other applications, other user access Java application. So like that, security violences, security concerns. Yeah. So that is why slowly move to virtual servers in third phase of implementation, right? So virtual server. What is virtual server? Anyone? What is virtual server? Virtualization. So we take one physical server, high capacity server. So on top of that, we can deploy some layer software, so which is a hypervisor or VMware or Citrix, right? So on top of that, we can create virtual servers. So VMware allow you to create virtual servers, right? Yeah, the virtual servers take the resource from physical server, whatever physical server we configured, right? So that physical server having highest capacity of the hardware, yeah, virtual servers take the resource from physical server. Fine. Yeah. So virtual servers, as per the physical server capacity, we can create virtual servers. So they can work individual. The virtual servers, they can work individual, right? That is third phase of implementation. So in virtual servers also having some drawbacks, right? Yeah. What are the drawbacks? Like hard drive cost or hard drive utilization. So drive utilization higher, right? For each operating system, yeah. So 6 GB to 18 GB utilized. So that is one drawback, and deployment time and downtime is very higher, right? And that is why project teams are looking for Docker containers, right? So which is a fourth phase of implementation. So Docker containers. What is container? Anyone? What is container?
Container is a box.
Box.
Yeah, it's like a box, right? So we can move anywhere, we can use anywhere. It's a lightweight, right? Standalone. Yeah. So container is a lightweight. So when we run the container, only bin and lib files will be created, right? Binary library files. So operating system size 200 MB only, along with all the applications, all the patches, all the plugins. Yeah. So we can spend 650 MB only maximum. Fine. So virtual servers are advanced to sorry, containers are advanced to virtual servers, right? Yeah. So those are
Deployment time
the
is also very less.
yes, licensing costing also very less. Yeah, so time saving and cost saving. That is why projects are looking for Docker containers, right? So that is trendy currently. So most of the project teams, they are migrating to Docker containers. Yeah. So next one, we discussed about operating system, types of operating systems. What is operating system, anyone?
An interface that connects the hardware and the user.
Yeah. So operating system is an interface between user and the computer hardware, right? So computer hardware always understand binary language, binaries, 000 001 100 111, right? So yeah, human will not understand binary language. That is why we required one translator, which is nothing but operating system, right? So next one, types of operating systems. What are the types of operating systems available? Single user, single tasking, multi-user, multitasking, single user multitasking, right? Yeah, so single user multitasking is nothing but it is a MS DOS, which is very old operating system. One user can log into the system and he can perform only one task at a time, which is nothing but single user single tasking operating system. Single user multitasking means Windows, right? So one user can log into the system, he can perform multiple tasks at a time. Multi-user multitasking, which is Linux, right? So multiple users can log into the system, they can perform multiple tasks at a time. So normally
Argi ఒకసారి ఒకసారి ఇది.
while deploying applications, what we will do? Yeah, so developer log into the servers, testers log into the servers, DevOps engineers also log into the servers, right? So everyone log into the servers and they can perform their own activities. Fine. Yeah, that is yeah, which is a multi-user multitasking operating system. Fine. So currently, server side, every project in every data center they are using Linux only. So what are the importance of Linux here? Security, right? Security and also open source. Open source, right? So yeah, when we compare with Windows, so very high secure. Linux is high secure. Fine. So these are the things we covered yesterday. Yeah. So today we are going to we are going to work on networks. What is networking? So types of networks. Yeah. So what is networking? Types of networks, and what is the importance? LAN, WAN, MAN, PAN. Right? Different types of networks are available. So let us go through networking concepts. So these are very very important for cloud engineers and DevOps engineers. Okay. So if you understand these basics, you can easily understand cloud infrastructure, cloud networking. Fine. In cloud, in AWS, we have VPC, virtual private cloud, which is very, very important concept. So yeah, if you understand these basics, you can easily understand cloud infrastructure, cloud networking. Fine. Yeah. So basically, what is networking? What is networking? A computer network is a system in which multiple computers are connected to each other to share information and resources. Right? See here. Normally in LAN network, so in network, we connect our desktops or laptops to the switch to share the resources, to share the information to other computers, right? So normally in hospitals and schools, we use networking, right, to share the data from one system to other system. So can you mute everyone? So if you have any questions, you can just hold down for some time. I give you time for asking questions. So if you unmute, recording will be disturbed, right? So Bharat, can you mute yourself? Yeah, others, please mute yourself. I give you time for asking questions. So recording will be disturbed, right? If you unmute, yeah. Fine. So this is a network, right? So normally to share the resources, to share the information, we use the networking. So now, what are the characteristics of computer network? Share resources from one computer to another, and create files and store them in one computer. Access those files from other computer connected over the network, right? So we can share the files in one computer, which is server, right? Server will be hosted. Yeah, normally we host the servers in data centers in central location. Yeah, every developer, every tester, they can access the servers through network, right? Yeah, so when we have networking, when we have servers in central location, what will happen? Costing will be saved, right? So yeah, so in one system, one computer, one server, we store all the data. So others like client computers and laptops, from laptops we can access the data. So due to that, what will happen? Costing will be reduced, security will be high, right? Yeah, we'll discuss about that. Next one, connect a printer, scanner, fax machine to one computer within the network and let other computers of the network use the machines available over the network, right? For example, so in a school, 5 floors are there. 5 floors are there. Yeah. So on 5 floors, we cannot configure printers. Each floor, we cannot configure printers, right? For example, 5 floors are there. So every floor printer not required. So costing higher, right? So what we will do, middle of the floor or third floor or second floor, what they will do, they configure one printer as a network printer, right? So they can print from anywhere, from any floor through network. The request will go through network, right? So what will happen here? Costing will be saved, right? And also instead of configuring servers in each floor, they configure one server. They connect through network. They store the normally the school people and hospitals. They store the data in central location in a server. So normally when we visit any hospital, so when you give your name or phone number, they track your details, right, from reception or OP or any other place. So they can get the information from server, right? Yeah. So this is what will happen. Costing will be saved and data will be secure. We can secure our data. Next one. So what are the hardware devices required to set up the computer network? See here, network cables required, distributors required, routers required, internal network cards required, and also external network cards required. So these are all the physical traditional devices, right? So currently we are not using this, but this terminology is very important for cloud engineers, DevOps engineers. Okay, so physical environments, physical servers we are not using currently. Physical Network cables also we are not using currently, but these terminals are very, very important. Okay. Yeah, network cables. So network cables are used to connect computers. The most commonly used cable is category 5 cable, which is RJ45. So yeah, Cat 5. So when we buy any router, along with the router, we get one cable, which is category 5 cable, right? Yeah, by using color coding, they connect the cable clamps, right? So that clamps you can connect our router and also our laptop. See here. So this is the category 5 cable. So most of the routers, along with the router, we are getting this cable, right? This is very popular cable, category 5 cable. Yeah. Next one, distributors. A computer can be connected to another computer via a serial port, but if you need to connect many computers to produce a network, the serial connection will not work. See here. So this is the loopback adapter. We can say network to network. So serial connection we use one router to other router, one switch to other switch. So when you want to configure, we can use this distributor. Right. So next one, router. A router is a type of device which act as the central point among computers and other devices that are the part of the network. So it is equipped with holes called ports. Computers and other devices are connected to a router using network cables. Nowadays, routers comes in wireless modes using which computers can be connected without any physical cables. Right? See here, this is the router. So we use network routers and Wi-Fi routers also. Network routers are different, Wi-Fi routers are different. So instead of connecting cables, we use network routers within the LAN, within the within the area, not LAN. So within the organization, we use the network routers. If you enable the gateway, internet will be accessible. If you enable the gateways, internet will be accessible. So network routers and internet routers. Network card. So what is network card? So network card is a necessary component of computer without which a computer cannot connect it over the network, right? It is also known as the network adapter or network interface card, NIC. So most branded computers have network card pre-installed. Within the motherboard, one chip will be there. For example, so when we use branded laptops, currently all the laptops we are using internally pre-installed network cards. Network cards are two types, internal and external cards. So earlier we used external cards in desktops. We used to connect one PCI card and we used to install drivers. So internal network cards. So motherboard has a slot for internal network card, yeah, where it is to be installed. So internal network cards are two types, in which the first type is peripheral component interconnect (PCI), and while second type use industry standard architecture (ISA). Network cables are equipped to provide network access. See here, this is the internal network card. So this is PCI card. So we used to use in desktops, right? So we connect this card in PCI slot, and we used to install drivers to enable the network card, right? Yeah. So next one, external network cards. Yeah, external network cards are two types: wireless and USB based. So wireless network cards need to be installed into the motherboard. So however, no network cable is required to connect to the network. See here. This is the black one. This black one is the wireless card. This is the USB card, right? So by using this, we can connect internet, right? Yeah. So by using USB cards, so USB card is easy to use and connects via USB port, right? So computers automatically detect USB card and can install the drivers required to support the USB network card automatically. So normally when we want to use USB cards, so we require driver. So we need to install driver. Once you install driver, automatically it will be activated, right? Next one, what are the important types of networks? So here we have four types of networks are available. So which are very, very important. See here, these are the four types of networks available. So PAN, LAN, WAN, and MAN. Personal area network, local area network, wide area network, metropolitan area network. So these are the four types of networks available. So let us go through one by one. Yeah. So what is PAN? Yeah, PAN is a computer network formed around a person. So personal network formed around a person. It generally consists of a computer, mobile, or personal digital assistant. PAN can be used for establishing communication among these peripheral devices for connecting to the digital network and the internet. So normally, within the room, within the floor, we use the PAN connectivity, PAN network. So see here, this is the diagram. Yeah. So when we are using laptop, we can connect a Bluetooth headset, Bluetooth mic, Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth mouse, Bluetooth printer. So any devices we can connect, right? So here these are the very secure. This is very secure network. But here there is a drawback, which is a distance limitation. Within 10 minutes only it will work. Within 10 meters. Sorry, within 10 minutes, not 10 minutes. 10 meters, right? So within the range it will work, right? Within the floor or within the room. So what are the characteristics of PAN? It is mostly personal devices network equipped with in a limited area, allows you to handle the interconnection of IT devices at the surrounding of a single user. PAN includes mobile devices, tablets, and laptops, right? Yeah. So within the within the room, within the small area, we can use this PAN connectivity. So PAN networks are relatively secure and safe, right? It offers only short range solution up to 10 meters, strictly restricted to small area. So disadvantage of PAN here, distance limits. Within 10 meters only this will work, right? Next one is a LAN. So LAN is a local area network. Yeah, it is a group of network devices that allow communication between various connected devices. It covers the smallest areas such as colleges, schools, hospitals, so on. See here, through LAN, local area network, we can establish the connectivity, right? So what are the characteristics of LAN? It is a private network completely, right? So LAN is private network, our own network. So within the network we can share the data, we can share the resources, right? So yeah, normally schools, hospitals, small industries, right? Yeah, so within the offices we use the LAN connectivity. So LAN connectivity is very secure and very faster, LAN connectivity, right? So LAN operates at a relatively higher speed compared to other WAN systems. So for example, when we buy the router, along with the router we get cable, right? We get one cable, RJ45 cable, fine. So Wi-Fi is speed, yeah, it is a higher speed, it is fine. So when we connect the cable from router to laptop, that is very higher speed, right? So while booking any Tatkal tickets, while working on any activities, we use the cable. So because yeah, LAN is very higher, cable speed is very higher, right? Cable network. Yeah. So advantages of LAN. What are the advantages? See here. So computer resources like hard disk, DVD RAMs, printers can be shared locally in networks. So this significantly reduce the cost of hardware purchases. Yes. So normally printers, scanners, and drives we connect as a network drive, network printer, network devices. So instead of configuring devices in all the floors, all the area, what we will do, we take one device and we configure as a network device. So that what will happen? Costing will be reduced, right? So data of all network users can be stored on single hard disk of the server computer. It will be easy to manage data at only one place, which makes the data more secure. Normally servers. So in server we store all the data. We can access the server through network. So everyone can access through network. So that what will happen? Hosting will be reduced and also more secure, right? Disadvantage of LAN. So unauthorized users can access critical data of an organization in case LAN admin is not able to secure centralized data repositories. So LAN admin is not capable. What will happen? Hackers will enter. into the LAN. That is why, so LAN admins should be, they need skills, right, to manage the LAN connectivities. Next one, MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. What is MAN? MAN stands for Metropolitan Area Network. It covers the largest area than LAN, such as small towns, cities, etc. MAN connects two or more computers that reside within the same or completely different cities. Yeah, not earlier, so 10 years back, 10 or 8 years back, Geo network, they configured Geo network, right? So within the city, so they cut the road, they cut road. So in the road, instead of the road, they configure the cables, right? Yeah. So Geo network, Geo cables, fine. Yeah. So normally MAN connectivity, it is a metropolitan area network, covers the largest area than LAN, such as small towns, cities, right? MAN connects two or more computers that reside within the same or completely different cities. This is a different network. I'll show you. See here. So MAN connectivity, hospitals, colleges, factories, schools. Normally, we can establish the connection within the city or different cities. Okay. Yeah. So what are the characteristics of MAN? It mostly covers towns and cities within a 50 kilometers range, maximum 50 kilometers range. Mostly used medium is optical fiber cable. Optical fiber. So these are very higher speed cables. Advantage of MAN. It offers fast communication using higher speed carriers like fiber optic cables. It provides excellent support for an extensive size network and greater access to WANs. A MAN network mostly includes some area of city or an entire city, right? So normally when we use the optical fiber cables, so within the city, within the range, we can use, this is very higher speed. Yeah, disadvantage of MAN here. So you need more cables to establish MAN connection from one place to another. In MAN network is thought to make the system secure from hackers. Why it is difficult to handle? Because distance limitations. So more distance, right? So that is why hackers will enter. If you are not, So normally the network engineers should secure this network, right? MAN connectivity. Otherwise, hackers will enter into the network. Next one, WAN, wide area network. So it covers a large area than LAN as well as MAN, such as country and continent. So country and continents, country to country, continent to continent. So WAN is expensive and should or might not be owned by one organization. It's a satellite medium, right? So used for wide area network. So normally satellite connectivity, right? Country to country, continent to continent. We use this WAN connectivity. See here. So it's a combination of LAN, MAN, and WAN. So what are the characteristics of WAN? So any organization can form its global integrated network using WAN. Advantage of WAN. So WAN helps you to cover a larger geographical area. Therefore, business offices situated at longer distance can be easily communicate. Yeah. So here we use the radio transmitters and receivers to build the network to client devices, right? Yeah. So and also disadvantages of WAN. What are the disadvantages? So when we want, so WAN connectivity. So when we want to establish WAN connectivity, so initial setup of costing is very higher. Initial costing. So because country to country, continental to continent, right? Yeah. So here what will happen? Different organizations, they took this connectivity, they share the billing and all here. See here, it's difficult to maintain the WAN network. You need skilled technicians and network administrators, right? So there are more errors and issues because of the wide coverage and use the different technologies. So initial setup of costing is very higher. That is why, so group of organizations, they opt this service. Okay. Next one, see here. This is the combination of LAN, WAN, and MAN. One country to other country, one region to other region, right? You can configure this. Yeah. So this networking basics, the terminology is very important here. Whatever we discussed here, terminology that is very important. Okay. Next one, IP addresses. IP address. What is IP address? Anyone? What is an IP address? Anyone having idea? IP
Internet
address.
protocol.
Yeah.
It's
IP
a
full form is Internet Protocol. Yes.
it's an address from which you are accessing the network.
Right. Yeah, so it is a unique address for every device, right? Every server, every desktop, every laptop, and every switch, every router will have their unique address, right? To identify the device in the network, we required one IP address. So IP address is the internet protocol, right? Yeah. IP stands for Internet Protocol, and IP address is unique address that identify a device on the internet or a local network, which is a set of rules governing the format of data sent via internet or local area network. So currently we are using IPv4. IPv4. What is IPv4? IP version 4 currently we are using, right? So most of the organizations they are using IP version 4. So IP version 6 also available, right? So maybe going forward, so maybe after 1 year, after 2 years, we start using IPv6. So IPv4 is 32-bit address, 32-bit address, right? IPv6, anyone? IPv6,
64.
64 bit.
64.
64.
not 64. It's a 128-bit, very advanced. If you go and search here, IPv4 versus IPv6. How many bits here? 8-bit, right? I'll show you. Clearly, I give you. See here. So it is a 32-bit address. IPv4 is a 32-bit address. So each octet 8 bits. So 128.11.3.31. So these are the four octets, right? So here each octet is 8-bit. Yeah, it is a 32-bit, right? See here, this is the IPv6, IP version 6. It is a 128-bit, right? Yeah, so currently we are using IPv4 only, IP version 4. Yeah, so maybe going forward we start using IPv version 6. Okay, next one. So types of IP addresses. How many types of IP addresses available here? Okay, can we mute everyone? There are various classifications of IP addresses, and each category further contains some types. First one, private IP addresses. Private IP. So what is private IP? So normally private IPs we use static IP addresses. So this is mainly for internal communication. We use for internal communication, right? And next one is public IP. What is public IP? So public IP is a dynamic IP. Normally we use the dynamic IP. So what is static IP? What is dynamic IP? Anyone? Private IP is a static IP. Public IP is a dynamic IP. Right. Yeah. Normally.
Static IP, it will, the address is not change. So
Dynamic IP address
it's
will change every time.
change.
So normally in server or desktop or laptop, how many IPs are available? In server or desktop or laptop? How many IPs available? Anyone? only one IP, which is network IP, right? For example, if you just search your command prompt and give IP config, you can find your IP address. Right? See here, this is my IP version 4 address, right? Yeah. So this is subnet mask. We'll discuss about this. Gateway also we discuss. Okay. Yeah. So this is my dynamic IP address, public IP. This is public IP, dynamic IP, right? So every system will have one IP which is network IP, which is dynamic IP, right? Yeah. So here, so when we talk about IP addresses, so here we have different types of IP addresses are available. So first one is private IP. Normally, yeah, why I'm talking about this? In real-time projects, in cloud computing, cloud infrastructure, we use two IPs. In physical devices, physical server, physical laptop or physical desktop, we use one IP only, which is network IP. But cloud servers, we use two IPs. One is public IP, another one is private IP, right? So every cloud server will have two IPs, either AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, any cloud platform. So first one is private IP. Second one is public IP. So what is private IP? Private IP is a static IP. So what is static IP? IP will not be changed. It is a permanent IP, right? So this is mainly for internal communication, right? Yeah. So public IP is a dynamic IP. Yeah. So dynamic IP. So this IP dynamically changed every time. It will be changed every time dynamically, right? So why this IP will be changed dynamically? So because backend there will be a DHCP server in data center, in cloud data center, there will be a DHCP server. What is DHCP full form here? Dynamic Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. DHCP full form is Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, right? So what DHCP will do? So whenever we connect our server, it will give new IP address. Whenever we stop the server, it will take back that old IP. Whenever again you start the server, it will give the new IP. So whenever we start server, IP will be changed every time, right? So because yeah, public IP is a this is mainly for external communication. That is why DHCP server it will give the new IP, it will take back the old IP every time when you stop your server, right? So this is mainly for to connect cloud server. We use public IP, right? So this is mainly for internal communication. Once you connect a server, this will be used for internal communication to share the resources, to share the to communicate the resources, right? Yeah. So and also one more IP is there here. Along with this two, one more IP is there. So which is elastic IP. So in cloud only, I'm talking about cloud here. Okay, not physical environment. Physical servers will not find any elastic IP. So yeah, in physical servers, physical devices, only one IP, which is public IP, which is dynamic IP, network IP. Yeah. So here in cloud environments, we find three IPs: private IP, public IP, elastic IP. So elastic IP also is static IP, right? So because public IP, what will happen here? Every time this IP will be changed. That is why client requests us to assign elastic IP in place of public IP, right? So public IP also a static IP. So this will not be changed, but public IP is not free of cost. Charges will be applied. Okay. So dynamic IP, public IP is free of cost. Private IP is free of cost, but elastic IP is not free of cost, right? So what is dynamic IP, what is public IP, what is private IP, what is elastic IP? We'll go deep dive while working on cloud infrastructure, cloud concepts, right? So every concept will go deep dive. Yeah, this is just an overview. Okay. Yeah. So in place of public IP, we assign elastic IP address. This is static IP. This is permanent IP. Yeah. So in real-time projects, always we use elastic IPs. We don't use public IPs. Okay. Next one. See here. So in public IP, we have two types of IPs: dynamic IP and also static IP. Okay. So we'll discuss about this. And also elastic IP. I haven't mentioned here elastic IP. So that is completely in cloud, not in physical environments, right? Yeah. Next one, subnet. What is subnet? What is subnet? Subnet is a sub network, small network. Instead of the large network, we can create small network, sub network. Why we require subnets, right? For example, we have 1,000 servers are there. In that 1,000 servers, 300 servers are development servers, 300 servers are testing servers, 400 servers are production servers. So if you create a single subnet and if you configure all the servers in the same subnet, what will happen? So they can communicate each other, right? So normally in production servers, for example, we use database servers. So database servers, we should not allow inbound traffic. For database servers, we should not allow inbound traffic. Inbound traffic means inbound incoming signal. Should not allow. So if you allow inbound traffic, there may be chances to leak the data. That is why we need to restrict inbound traffic to the database servers. So if you want to restrict, we require subnet. We can segregate. We can create three subnets: development subnet, QA subnet, and production subnet. For example, so here in this floor, one class is going there, one class is going here. So there is office staff also available. So there is no partitions here. For example, there is no partitions. Everything is open. What will happen here? Some noise, right? Disturbance will be happen. So when we customize the room, we can control the noise. Same way, subnets also. So when you want to restrict the inbound traffic, we require one sub network, small network, to control the traffic, right? Yeah, see here. This is the definition. Subnet or subnetwork is a smaller network instead of a large network. See here. These are all small networks. See here. 200.200.10.48/29 slash 28 something is there, right? Slash 28 29. What is this? I'll show you something here. Subnet ranges. See here. So these are all subnet ranges. Subnet ranges, right? See here. These are all subnet ranges. Yeah. So here 255.255.255.255/32/31/29/28 different ranges are there. What is this? Yeah, for example, if you give /28, what will happen? We can accommodate 16 IPs only. 16 devices you can connect in the range. See here, 16. But here they are showing 14. What is this? So total number of IP addresses 16. Means 16 devices you can connect in that range. But here they are showing usable IP addresses are 14. What does it mean? Two IPs, yeah, two IPs, one IP is network IP, one IP is broadcast IP, right? So actual usable IP is 14 only, right? So normally in real-time projects in cloud environments, so this range we use /16 means 65,536 IPs, in which two IPs, broadcast IP, network IP. So here usable IPs are 65,534 IPs. So subnet ranges normally we use /24 or /20. These ranges we use subnet ranges. We'll go deep dive while working on cloud environments. Okay. So how to create subnets, how to configure subnets, how can we create network? We'll discuss about. We'll discuss theoretically and we'll see the practically also. We'll go deep dive. Okay. Yeah. Next one. What is network switch? Network switch. A switch is a device in a computer network that connects other devices together. Multiple data cables are plugged into the switch to enable communication between different networked devices. See here, this is a traditional switch, old switch, right? We used to use this switch. So backside of the switch, some ports are there. Those are, we can say, RJ45 ports. We can connect our network cables to the ports, and we can share the data. We can share the resources through network, right? Yeah, what is gateway? Gateway. So if you want to connect from one network to other network, we require gateway. See here, this is one network, this is another network. This network range is 10.0.0.0/8, 20.0.0.0/8. So these are two different ranges, right? So one network to other network, if you want to connect, we require one gateway, right? One gateway required here. Gateway is nothing but internet network router. Gateway is nothing but network router. So one network to other network, if you want to communicate, we require one gateway, right? So gateways also we discuss in cloud environment, right? So yeah, so within the network they can communicate each other, right? So here, this is a range 10.0.0.0/8. This is one range. So within this range, this device can communicate within the room. We can communicate easily, right? So the person is sitting in another room. How can we communicate, right? If you want to communicate, we require one door, one gate, which is nothing but a gateway. Okay. Next one, firewall. What is firewall? Anyone? Anyone having idea? Firewall, security device. Yes, network security device. Right. See here, firewalls are network security systems that prevent unauthorized access to a network. It can be a hardware or software unit that filters the incoming and outgoing traffic within the network. Right. See here, this is a firewall. So normally, if you want to connect your office network, if you want to connect your cloud network, how can we connect? Through internet. Through internet. So normally, if you want to connect your office network through internet, we can connect first VPN. VPN will allow you to connect your office network. So through internet, we can connect our network. So internet is the most vulnerable network, very dangerous network, right? So malwares, threats, virus available in the network, right? Internet. So we required here firewall to filter the traffic, right? Without firewalls, we cannot connect. So because if you don't have any firewall, definitely threats will be happened in the network, right? So here firewall, we configure firewall rules here. So it will allow good traffic and it will deny the bad traffic. So bad traffic it will block, good traffic it will allow, right? By using firewall rules, it will allow deny the traffic. Okay. Next one, what is replication, what is failover, and what is load balancer? We'll try to understand. So replication is a technology for copying and distributing data and database object from one database to another and then synchronizing between databases to maintain consistency and integrity of the data. In most cases, replication is a process of reproducing the data at the desired targets. Why we require replication? Replication means simply you can say duplication. One zone to other zone, one region to other region. We can duplicate the data. Why we require duplication here? If any zone, one zone is down, other zone will take care of the resources, right? Yeah, see here. So this is primary region, this is secondary region. So in primary region, some data is available that is replicating to other secondary region. So user is accessing from primary region. In case primary region is down, what will happen? Automatically that data will be accessible from second region. which is nothing but failover. Failover is nothing but automatically it will switch to other region, right? In AWS also, yeah, we use different regions, Americas regions, Europe regions, Africa regions, different regions, right? So one region is down. I'll show you some overview here. Yeah, see here. Here we have Ohio. Yeah, see here. US East North Virginia, US East Ohio, US West North California, US West Oregon. These four are America's regions. America's regions. So one region is down, application will not be down anywhere, right? Yeah. So here these are the regions. Why we require region? Region is nothing but data center. Don't confuse. Geographical area. So it is a data center. What is data center? We discussed already. What is data center? Data center is a server
Collection
room
of
where we host all the servers, right? So these are all regions across the globe. AWS configure different regions to provide high availability. High availability, right? What is high availability? The application which we are hosting on data center, that should be available 24 by 7. For example, Flipkart is there. Flipkart, right? So Flipkart will not be down because the application hosted in different data centers. In case one data center is down, nothing will be happen. The application will be accessible from other data center. Even same Amazon shopping site also, Amazon.com, Amazon.in, right? Yeah. So these are all America's are the Asia Pacific regions. Here, see here, Mumbai region also available here. Mumbai, Osaka, Seoul, Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo, right? So whatever data we are using on Mumbai region, in case Mumbai region is down, for example, our data will be accessible from nearby edge location, which is Singapore. AWS is providing very high availability and very high security. Right? Since long I'm working in AWS from 2012. I haven't seen single security concern, security issues. I haven't seen any security issue, right? So AWS is very high secured and highly available. So if any customer want to opt this platform, cloud platform, the first concern here is security. If I host my database in cloud, how the security will be addressed? That is why AWS is giving high security, high availability. So not only AWS, Azure, Google Cloud also, right? So these are all regions, Asia Pacific regions. These are the Europe regions, right? So like this, we have different regions are there. We'll go deep dive about this. What is region? What is the use of region? How can we replicate the data from one region to other region? How can we enable the failover? How can we configure security? We'll discuss. These are all very easier concepts. Okay. Yeah. So compared to physical environments, these are very easier. Fine. Yeah. Next one. Why Linux? Why the project teams are using Linux only backend server side? What is the importance here? It is a
more
free
secure.
and open source. Yeah, it is a free and open source and very secure. So many distributions available like Ubuntu, Fedora, AV Linux, RHCL, CentOS, different distributions available and fast performance. Compare with Windows, Linux is very faster. Okay, and no viruses, no malwares, no slowdowns, no crashes, no costly repairs in Linux. That is why most of the data centers, most of the project teams, they are using Linux in server side. Normally desktops, laptops use Windows, server side always we use Linux. Yeah, once we enter into the cloud platform, once complete first two services, after that we'll work on Linux also. We have Linux sessions also. Fine. Yeah. So now, anyone having any questions? These are the things available here. Any questions, anyone? So anyone newly joined today, can you provide your WhatsApp number and email address in the chat so that we provide you previous recordings
Hello?
and course content?
Ram,
Yeah, please. Yeah,
yeah, this is Rashekar.
yeah,
These projects are covered. How many projects covered in this training?
yeah. So three live projects will be covered. Along with
Mm.
that, other 4, 5 projects, small projects will be covered.
Those are individual products or projects are interlinked with these DevOps tools. And end
Yeah,
to end.
interlinked. Yes, interlinked with the DevOps tools only. I'll show
Mm.
you the projects which we are going to work on. Yes. Just a minute.
Hi, can you share the PPTs also?
PPTs will not be shared. I give you documentation once we start working on cloud concepts.
Yes.
See here. So these are the three live projects will be covered. Live CI/CD with Git, Jenkins, Maven, Tomcat. Live CI/CD with Git, Jenkins, Maven, Kubernetes, and here migration project or Terraform project. So these three are very important projects, live projects. In real time projects, CI/CD, how we build, how we can migrate the servers from one region to other region, one zone to other zone, one cloud platform to other cloud platform. How can we migrate the data? How can we migrate the servers? That we will see in live, right? And yeah, this CI/CD first one is yeah. Normally every project team they are using CI/CD in Agile methodology. CI/CD, Agile methodology. What is Agile? You understand, right? You understood, right? So in DevOps Linux we
Continuous
discussed.
development and continuous testing.
Yeah, CI/CD full form is continuous integration and continuous deployments. Okay. Yeah. So Git, Jenkins, Maven, Tomcat, a combination of these tools we work on this first project. Second project with the combination of Kubernetes also we work on this project. Third project is migration project or Terraform project. These are live projects which are very important. So along with this we work on different small projects like while working on Jenkins we'll work on small project like yeah, so Jenkins master slave model project, master agent model project. Kubernetes is also having some projects, small projects. Docker is also having some projects. Ansible also having some projects. Like that, nearly 5 projects will be covered, small projects. Along with that, these are the three live projects. Fine.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
What is the use of ports and what do you mean by RJ port?
Can you come again? What is the use of
Port, ports. And again, you're saying RJ ports.
RJ45?
RJ 45.
You're talking. So yeah, so that is cable connector. That is a cable connector to connect to the switch or router or device. We are not using that. Currently, we are not using that. We are using cloud environments, right? In data centers, we are not using physical environments currently. So in our project, yeah, 6 years back, we used to use 1,000 servers in data center. Currently, we have 20 servers because of cloud. We migrated our applications to cloud. Fine.
Hi, Ram.
Yeah.
Hi, Ram.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yes.
Okay, can you use this internal server and external this AWS and both combined at a time? Or is it
AWS
possible?
server and also
Internal server, internal company servers.
yes, yeah. Currently, project teams are using physical
Mm.
servers and cloud servers also. They are migrating
No,
the
no.
data from. Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead, go ahead. We can use at a time both the servers, no issues.
What is the tomorrow's agenda, sir?
Yeah, Arun, you can speak something you are talking. Go ahead, please.
What is the tomorrow's agenda?
Tomorrow's
Agenda.
agenda. Yeah, tomorrow slowly enter into cloud. We'll enter into cloud. How to create a AWS account. So what is cloud? Overview of cloud. Tomorrow overview of cloud AWS. We'll start cloud tomorrow. Just overview. We don't do anything. I give you overview
We will
and
install
how
the AWS account, sir.
we don't install anything. How to create AWS account. How to connect AWS account. What are the services available inside of the AWS account? That we will discuss tomorrow. Day after tomorrow also, yeah, slowly enter into services slowly. So yeah, then from tomorrow onwards we'll start working on cloud slowly. So we don't directly go and create networks. We don't directly go and create servers. Don't do like that, right? Slowly we'll enter into cloud. So yeah, from basic level to advanced level we'll go, right?
And Ram, I have one question. So let's say we have or already used the free tier account from one email address. So can we use the another email for free tier, the
Yes,
AWS?
yes, you can use another email and you can create
Okay,
new account and a fresh account you can use.
okay,
Fresh account you
got
can
it.
use.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Tomorrow I'll show you how to create account. Yeah. Any other questions?
Hi
Anyone?
Ram. Hi
Hi.
Ram.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, Raj.
My network is gone. Yeah. Can you use at a time, same time, you can configure the internal network and AWS cloud platform at a time for a single project? Is it
Yes, we
possible?
can. Because yeah, we can configure. Yes, that is possible.
Mm.
Yeah. Other questions?
Ram, this is Sushil. I have one question. For like installing the AWS, do we need to buy the license or free license will be available to practice the projects or something, which is
Right.
discussed in this
AW
course?
Yes, yes. So AWS is free for 1 year. We can create a free tier account, 1 year free. We don't need to pay anything for AWS. Right. Within 1 year, we can
Oh,
use that account. How to use that
okay.
account? Which services we can use without charges? I'll show you. Without
Yeah,
costing,
sure.
how can we
Thank you,
use
Ram.
that? Fine. So we can stop here. So tomorrow, yeah, by sharp 8 a.m., we'll start the session. And tomorrow we'll enter into cloud. Slowly enter into cloud and basic level to advanced level. Yeah. So we'll work on the cloud platform. So AWS is the primary platform. If you are good in AWS, you can easily handle any platform, right? Fine. So tomorrow we'll start cloud. Fine. Yeah. Thank you all.